I don't know if y'all heard, but the first place Birds take on the second place Rays. It's time for a mound visit. Let's talk about it. Let's go O's! What's going on, Birdland? Baltimore Bops here, and welcome to the Baltimore Bops YouTube channel, where we talk about all things Baltimore Orioles. If you're an O's fan, if you're just a casual Major League Baseball fan, hey, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. And by all means, hit that notification bell, which is going to let you know every time that I make a video pertaining to the Baltimore Orioles. And as some of you very well may know, I'm attempting to get to 50 subscribers because I really want to watch some baseball with you guys. And YouTube says that I can't go live until I have 50 subscribers. So once again, more incentive to just go ahead and subscribe to the channel. That way we can watch the games together, man, and we can talk about it in a live perspective. So without further ado, I present to you the O's and Rays series preview. I was about to say season preview. Series preview. It's a 4-game set, and our Baltimore Orioles are traveling down to Tropicana Field to take on the Rays. So let's get into the statistical leaders. The Baltimore Orioles are led by right fielder, sometimes first baseman, Anthony Santander, who has 17 around trippers and 54 ribeyes. And Austin Hayes is batting .304 for the team. But Austin, you need to stink and get that batting average up, bro. It was like 320, 325 a couple months ago, down to 304. Hey, don't let that thing dip below 300. Don't you do it. I digress. Tampe Bay Rays are going to be led by Jose Siri with 19 dingers. Yandy Diaz is batting a very respectable 320. And Randy Rosarina has 61 RBIs on the season for himself. Now, let's get into the pitching matchups. So, your 58-37 Baltimore Orioles head into game one by sending out right-handed pitcher Kyle Gibson. Now, Gibby, as we all know him as and love him by, is 9-6 with a 4.77 ERA and a 1.35 WHIP. His last outing against the Marlins, he went 5 1/3, giving up 9 hits and 5 earned runs, and that resulted in a 6-5 victory. And remember, that game did not start out hot for Gibson. He literally battled and scratched and clawed his way through those 5 1/3. And you know what? It was a gutty performance. It was not his best performance, obviously, but it was a gutty performance, and it was good to see him kind of bounce back in a sense and keep that game close so the O's would have a shot, and they made it happen. So, you got my man Gibby on the mound for game one, and the Rays will counter Gibby with right-handed pitcher Tyler Glasnow, who's 3-3 with a 3.7 ERA, 3.78 ERA, and a 1.24 WHIP. And his last outing was a 6-1 win over the Royals, in which he went 6 innings and gave up 1 earned run on 6 hits. So it pitched very well against the Royals, but we all know that the Royals are not a offensive powerhouse. Okay, O's are a pretty respectable offense. Now ESPN gives the Rays a 70% chance of winning this game. Yikes. That just shows you what the analytics are saying about this baseball game. But I say, just like I always do, with all those good left-handed bats, you got to feel good, like you got a puncher's chance going into a baseball game with a right-handed pitcher. The O's can hit, man, from the left side of the plate. They got batters all across the place. So we'll see how the young Baltimore Orioles approach game one, man. It's almost like a playoff game. So it's going to be super stinking exciting. Definitely tune into that game. If you're not going to watch any game, tune in to game one, because, that is going to be the best teams in the AL East. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that, especially late July. Game two is also a 6:40 pitch, July 21st. The Baltimore Orioles will send out right-handed pitcher Kyle Bradish, who's 6-4 with a 3.05 ERA and a 1.13 WHIP. Hey, I've been talking the praises of Tyler Wells, and I'm not saying that my man Tyler's not balling out. He did have a a bad outing last time, but Kyle Bradish has been pretty stinking consistent, man, over the last, seems like month and a half. I mean, his ERA is down to 3.05, and it seems like every time that he's in the baseball game, we got a good shot of making it happen. So his last game, probably one of the better pitching performances we've had in a while. 7 1/3 on 7 scattered hits, and he allowed 0 runs. And then the Marlins tried to come back after he was out of the game by putting up stinking 4 in the top half of the ninth, but the O's were able to close it out and get that stinking victory. And that was in Game 3, obviously, against the Miami Marlins. So, Kyle Bradish has been pitching great. You got to like it. Our shots when he's in the baseball game. So, the Rays will counter Bradish with right-handed pitcher Zach Eflin, who's 10-5 with a 3.59 ERA and a 103 whip himself. In his last outing, he got stinking smashed by the Royals by giving up 5 runs on 7 hits, and he only pitched 3 innings. So, got the early hook, baby. Hopefully the Birds can make him pay. Now, ESPN Analytics, they give the Rays a 62% chance at winning this game. Interesting. Go to Game 3. So, Game 3 is going to be a 4:10 first pitch on July 22nd. Baltimore Orioles will send out my man, right-handed pitcher Grayson Rodriguez, who is 2-2 with a 7.33 ERA and a 1.75 whip. His last outing was the heartbreaker in Game 1 to the Dodgers, where he pitched 5 really good innings. I mean, just 1 run through 5. But then he got to the 6th, and it's been his stinking... That's kind of where it seems like things just kind of crumble down on each other, is the 6th. And he was responsible for giving up 1 before he left. And then the last 2 runners that he faced reached, and he was responsible for them. And then Brian Baker came in and got manhandled. And unfortunately, Rodriguez's final line was 5 innings pitched on 4 earned runs. So, hey, man, what are you going to do? But he looked good through 5. So I am excited to see him again, see if he can get through that hill, that hump, if you will, that he's, for whatever reason, it's like maybe even a mental block. I don't know. But he gave up 4 on 7 hits through 5 innings pitched. So that's when he had to shut down. And like I said, Brian Baker got stinking smashed. The Rays will toss out 11-1 left-handed pitcher Shane McClanahan, who has a 2.56 ERA and a 1.13 whip. His last outing was a 3-2 loss to the Texas Rangers, in which he pitched 6 innings, giving up 2 runs on 3 hits. So, this kid can pitch. Real interesting matchup between him and Grayson. Grayson's going to have to be good because Shane's going to be good. And the Orioles are going to need Rodriguez to pitch a stinking good game if they are going to try to take Game 3. ESPN gives the Rays a 77% chance to beat the O's. So, finally, Game 4, first pitch, 1:40, afternoon first pitch. The O's will toss out Tyler Wells, who's 7-5 with a 3.54 ERA, 3.54 ERA, and a .98 whip. His last outing was his worst of the year, in which he only went 2 innings, giving up 5 earned runs on 7 hits. So he will look to bounce back in this one. What a big spot to be in. Tyler Wells is a competitor, man. If you think that start sits well with him, he is probably just... He probably can't even stinking sleep at night because he's ready to get back out there and erase that memory from all of our minds. So he's a competitor. I definitely think he's going to come out there and he's going to stinking ball out, give the Birds an opportunity to win. Tampa Bay will send out right-handed pitcher Taj Bradley, who was 5-6 with a 5.29 ERA and a 1.39 whip. His last outing was a 5-3 loss to the Rangers, in which he gave up 2 earned runs on 5 hits and 5 innings pitched. ESPN gives the Rays a 55% chance at beating the O's. Time for a swig. Now, I think it's super interesting that in every game, the Birds are dogs in this one. especially the trajectory that both of these teams are going. I know it's in Tropicana Field, but I just feel like that's a little ridiculous. But ESPN Analytics sees it the other way, and we will see how the Birds play. They're young. How do you see a young team react to one success? Because now technically they're at the top, and now they're playing super meaningful baseball against their main competitors. How do they act? Are the lights too bright, or do when the lights come on they stink and shine? That is remaining to be seen. So it's gonna be fun, man, to watch the young Birds, how they stink and respond to this meaningful baseball. And whatever the outcome is, this is a great experience for these guys in that it should bode well in late September, October for their confidence, or just to have that experience of meaningful baseball, if you will. So, should be a stinking exciting series. I hope that you all tune in. Like I said, man, help me get the 50 subscribers so I can watch this thing live with you guys and we can talk about the game. So, if you like this content, if you're an O's fan, if you want to hang out with your boy Bops, please like, share, and subscribe. And smash that notification bell. Comment down in the comment section. I am seriously interested in what you have to say about this here series. I know you're excited. What do you think the outcome is? I want to hear about it. It's big boy baseball, baby. Here we come, and we'll see you on the next one.